What's up, guys? It's Charles over here with Rocket Punch Army to do a review. First of all, I'm going to apologize in advance. I do a lot of apologies in my videos, but I know you guys are used to certain qualities of my videos in the past. They've gone from really good to sort of crappy. A lot of stuff going on, but right now we're having a heat wave and I cannot do my videos where I normally do them. It is insanely hot. And actually right now it's hot. I'm in an air-conditioned room, but I did have to shut the air conditioner off so you don't hear too much. But what you do hear in the background is my PlayStation that will not shut off. I guess it's overheated. But yeah, so today we're doing a video of the Soul of Chogokin Grendizer, the Dynamics Classics version. And this is the GX-76. And you can also see the glare in the background, so I do apologize for that also. But I'm sure it won't take too much away from the video. Here is the front of the box and the sides, and also the back photography, as we are well accustomed to in all the other releases. And I have popped open the side here. I've not looked at the figure. I wanted to do that with you guys here today. So we're going to go ahead and open this up. I'm just going to pull out this tray here. So the first tray we see here is his accessories. All right. Very nicely packed. Of course, the stand. And I'm sure this stand is also the type that holds stuff inside. So, oh, it's got the plate there, which is really nice. No adding plates on. And then, of course, the figure is going to be somewhere in here. Oh, here's a instruction booklet. Always a nice quality booklet from Bandai. And a figure. Oh, it didn't come with cardboard on top. Usually it's like a piece of cardboard that's taped off. Was it like this with the other Dynamics Classics? It might have been. Just been a while since I handled figures. But here he is. Very nice size, actually. I will pull out the Soul of Chogokin, the original release. The GX-04, I think it was called. Man, I'm really bad lately with keeping up on all this. I used to be like a pro at it, but yeah, we're going to do a comparison. Why not? I do have him here since I have recently brought everything over from storage here. Alright, so let's take a picture. Let's take a picture. Let's take the figure out of the plastic wrap here. Ooh, feels so good. This looks really nice. Again, it's the first time I'm looking at it. I'm actually very happy with the way it feels. I love the colors. I love the proportions. Look at the bottom of the feet. There's some discoloration there. I think it's just grease. Yeah, look at that. It just rubs right off. It's probably from the molding. And I do see some staining here on the waist. I don't know if you see that. I don't know what's going on lately, man. I usually unpack these things and they're perfect. And I usually have issues with like future products. They've always got like pubes in the paint and fingerprints. And lately the Bandai's been having like little errors. I don't know if they're just changing factories, which I kind of doubt they're changing factories. But anyway, not happy with that little staining going on. If it was on the back or something, I wouldn't care so much. But it's in the freaking front. It's always got to be in the front. Always. But the figure, again, just feels really good. Are these vinyl? Or, oh, actually, they move out of the way. You see that? You can keep them straight here. Wow, that's actually a neat design instead of them being vinyl where they bend. I love that design. That's definitely a thumbs up for Bandai. Look at that, guys. They've really put thought into that. I mean, what are the hinges have to be really teeny. That is a really nice thing. Is that on all of it? No, just these two. So you just got to be careful with that. But look at that. Instead of having these flex like on other figures. We are going to check out the articulation. We got the head here. The head is separate from the neck, and the neck also pivots down here at the bottom. It's a little tight because it's brand new. Notice also the different colors of the horns. I like that. I like when they pay attention to details like that. The Harikens or whatever these things are do pop off. Obviously, when you're using them as weapons, you got to take them off there. That's not really articulation, but if we move on to the shoulders, got the little shoulder covers here, which do move out of the way, allow you to get a little bit better pose there. And you'll notice, whoops, alright, well, you'll notice they're on a ball joint. Little swingy thing here on a ball joint. And you'll notice the design of the shoulders right here. So pretty neat design. And again, the elbows, which I was showing you before, they go up to there pretty much. And the fists are on ball joints, but not too much movement going on there. We do have the upper chest that moves. We have a waist, but as usual, it's just enough to move to certain spots before there's a risk of, you know, scratching. And we got the, wow, the hips are really tight on this guy. They're metal. You can see that the metal in there. It does go forward. I wonder, we're going to have to look at the instructions. I wonder if they pop out. Can't get them to pop out. I don't want to force it. But there's really, it only goes up to there so far. So let me check the instructions out. But here are the knees. They do have quite a good range of movement. And we also have the swivel right here. It's a little rough feeling, but it does have a swivel there. And then we have the ankles. Alright, so I checked the instructions. It's pretty much what I thought it was going to be. I didn't mention it because I didn't want to sound too stupid, but you can take the diapers off and replace them to get the legs to go forward, sort of like the other Dynamics Classics, which I should have just assumed it was going to be that way, but it's always good to check the instructions, so I got them out. There are some warnings for areas that can be a rub point. So all the dark gray areas, which is pretty much every joint, is subject to rubbing off, which it says there, warning, may rub off. And the inside just gives you tips on how to extend the arms, how to get the head back here, to look up when he's flying and when he's docking, and the little diaper removal. I call them diapers because they look like diapers, guys, I'm sorry. And here, also warning there for the rubbing off. And then how to set all the weapons up. Alright, so, and of course a stand, which I may or may not show you guys. While we're looking at the paperwork, here is nice, shiny, like magazine cover type paper. Inside shows some illustrations. I'm assuming those are prior or to him looking like that. I can't read Japanese, but that's the drawings in there. And of course a color guide here. Of course, why not, right? So pretty nice the way they show you all these things in here in the book. In case you're a gigantic Grendizer fan, you can see some CG models right there. So always a cool thing to have. Probably go ahead and use Google Translate for that at some point. But alright, so here's the figure again. We're going to check out some of the accessories. We're going to start off with the stand over here, because it does consist of some accessories inside, mostly of which are alternate hands, either these open hands or weapon holding hands. We also have the covers when he does his little screw punch thing, or screw crusher punch, whatever the hell it's called, and then little diaper pieces, so you can do the leg extension towards the front, and of course the little clamp here to hold him on the stand. Otherwise it's just pretty much empty here. It does come with a little blister case, although if it's going to be like something you keep, probably would have been nice to have this not be just like a blister plastic thing, right? Makes sense. So we're going to put that back here, so we will use that in just a moment. We're going to show you some other accessories. We have this right here, the screw punch, which attaches to where his fist is. We do have the screw crusher punch here. You can see it's folded right over his fist. I thought it would go right over these fists, but you got them right in there, which is pretty cool. So that way you have to check to see which way they go on there. Then we have also, if I can get it out of the tray here, the crusher punch, which they fold over completely to form almost like a bullet type. Alright, you'll notice they have the proper colors. They have the maroon on, which would be the inside. Are they painted like that on these? It's kind of hard to tell. They probably, I can't even tell. Can't see. Oh yeah, actually, yeah, they're done the right color. Even though these don't pull back, the ones that slide do have the correct color as far as I can see, unless it's an optical illusion. So that's really cool. I like that. And then they have the forearms here, and they're actually die-cast forearms. That's really cool. Which would be, I guess, when you're doing this, we'll check it out in just a moment. But yeah, it has the extra forearms there, which is really nice. I wanted to maybe show you guys how this part comes off. You put your nail right back here, supposedly, right, to get that part. I'm just only going to do one. I don't think it's necessary to do both, but you got to grab the extra piece from in here. And I believe it's this side here. Nope, wrong one, dude. Alright. And then that just clips on there. You'll notice there's a lot more space for the leg to move. So unless you're doing some really dynamic posing and then his butt cheeks stick out the back, that's not cool. But if you're doing really dynamic posing, that's what that's for. Alright, so we'll move ahead. So we'll look at the alternate hands. There's only like a slight difference between these two. Otherwise, they're pretty much the identical hands. Just one has a like a longer hold position there, longer hole. They're pretty similar. And then we got the ever popular Boobie grabbing hands here. All right, let's try the screw punch here. Do it on this one here. Pop off the fist, then pop off the forearm, which is easy enough. And you want to put this little sunken in part right there. And then this is just friction fit. And you should be able to just pop the fist right onto that ball joint. And you got yourself a screw punch. Now, while using the same forearm, you can also pop this one in. Of course, it's the wrong one. There you go. And finally, whoops, almost dropped that guy there. Very frictiony there. Do the crusher punch right there. That's really neat that they got all the different things. It would be awesome if everything was just like perfectly transformable, but in order for it to look correct, you know, I kind of understand why they did all this stuff, which is fine. It's less fiddly, looks better. All right, but there it is. Now he's got different fists. They're labeled from A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H. This is C and D, if I'm not mistaken. This is what we're supposed to use for the Harikens. You got to be careful when you pop these fists on that you're not pushing on the like tips of those things, which I was doing and almost breaking them. And get this one off. Do the same thing for that side. It's like so difficult to put on when everything's brand new. Then we got to pop these off. One thing you should note, when you put these back on, they are keyed, believe it or not. Even though they're very similar, they are keyed one to each side. So if you're having trouble putting them in, just make sure it's the right side. Then we're going to grab the pieces to make the Harikens. So this is probably keyed also, knowing Bandai. This goes here. And then you don't use these. It does have separate ones which look better. They're bigger, and obviously they're just trying to keep everything looking nice. So these are bigger. Just get it right in there. So we got one done. Gotta make another. Now what you probably should do, instead of putting on the spike first, since the spike does have a ring around it, put the Hariken in, and then put that in. That way you don't have to force it through the hand there. And do the same thing with the other. Just to get them both on there. I don't really feel a lot of friction in him holding it. These are the smaller hold hands. The smaller hole hands. Jeez, can't talk. Like this one just slides down. Whatever. There we are. It does hold them. Again, be careful. See what I did? See what I did, guys? I bent the tip of that because I was just going to warn you guys, when you fold the elbow, that you should do it from this spot. So now I have a messed up point there. It's bent and probably going to break off. But it's hot enough in here where the plastic probably just flexed out of the way, no big deal. So hopefully I didn't mess it up. So learn from me, guys, don't do that. Don't mess up your Grendizer. Well, good news is I took a heat gun to it, believe it or not. And yeah, not a good idea, by the way, because all of these things curled up like crazy. I just managed to, well, not like crazy, but just the two that I was messing with. So don't do that. Maybe some warm water. Maybe a little hair dryer, not a freaking heat gun. But anyway, I got them back. The points that I bent a little, you can't even tell they were ever bent. Anyway, just thing of caution there. So what you got to do, swing these back away, just like that. All right, remember that. I'll try and remember for the rest of the video. Anyway, the Harikens can also convert to double Hariken. You'll notice it's got a little peg there, and voila. Well, actually, probably should have done that again. First this way, like that. I always leave the fists off when I do reviews for some reason. Like I'm trying to show you guys something and then I leave it off. Alright. So yeah, that's what he looks like. You can possibly, or you can actually get him to hold it with both hands, but again, I'm rubbing around these points everywhere. You got to be really careful, because if you're like used to handling your figures as you would any other one, you're gonna mess up those points there. Just really take it easy. Like, just gonna try and show you with both hands, but see, like the forearms twist differently than the elbow, so there's always gonna be, see, I don't even know what's going on over here. There we go. There we go. So you gotta think ahead any movement you make with the arms. So I was gonna show you both hands. I might as well, whatever. We're already gone this far. But again, be careful. I'm trying to be careful because I'm not even going to display it with the weapons, but I'm sure some of you want to know what it looks like. So that's what he looks like, holding it with both hands. Alright. Now see, like, to get this pose, and I didn't even do it as good as the box did. It takes a lot of patience. You'll see that pose right here. It takes a lot of patience, a lot of moving around of the elbows and stuff, and making sure all those little hinged things or non-hinged ones are not getting bent. Yeah, I can't stress enough how careful you should be. It's not a big deal with the other ones that are vinyl, but I did notice because of that they're not using vinyl. They're using actual hard plastic. It's probably some type of PVC, but it's really stiff. It's not the regular vinyl. So just, again, I will repeat myself for the 5th time. Be careful. Go ahead and lower his arm carefully. Of course, that pops off again. We have to swivel top of his arm and also the bottom so you can get it where it needs to be. As far as popping this on, it's kind of easy, except it's kind of hard to keep the ball joint where it needs to be to pop in. There we go. Alrighty. I'm sure you guys were also waiting for a comparison, right? So we got the old Grendizer here, and now that I have them side by side, it makes the original, the GX-04, right? Please, I hope I'm right. Makes it look a little outdated, doesn't it? Look how much taller this guy is. You can see the color differences, differences. So, also notice right here, these are vinyl. So these you don't have to really worry about when you fold the elbow, although I found that annoying that they would just flex like that. So I like how they did this. If you're going to hold the arms straight down, you can actually move them in so they don't look weird and offset. But I think that's a great compromise to be able to split them apart to do that, which is much better. You can see the color differences. You can see the chrome on the Hariken shoulder pieces. You can see the difference in like side view, but really the side profile here. It seems a little bulkier on this one, which is shorter. You'll notice the horns don't have the color differences. Screw holes are gone. Although this was like raw metal, it did tend to varnish a little bit, or oxidize. What's the word? Tarnish? Not varnish. Tarnish. So you have to keep pretty much polishing that to keep it from looking horrible. There is more detail on the bottom of the feet of the older one, but I feel the newer one, even with those differences, is definitely better. I love the head sculpt much better. The horns don't look really gigantic. You know, they look like bananas on there. Just stuck bananas on the side of his head. These actually look like horns. I mean, even though I like the face sculpt of this better, I like the way that one looks a little bit meaner. As far as weight, I would say this one. Yeah, this one. I mean, this is just by feel. I mean, my left hand could probably be just not as equal to my right, but this one does feel, I mean, they're almost the same, but this one, yeah, just ekes it out. I guess like a weight thing, something I could weigh them with would have been awesome, but yeah, the feet are different. You notice the feet are a little more curved on the sides, just a little more straight. So it's a nice little update. I like the colors. You know, they got rid of the raw metal and the chrome, but I think it works better in the new version than it does in the old. And I like that these screw holes are gone. They got little plates here to cover them. Same thing with the shoulders. So I think they did a great job. Wait, is this missing something here? Oh, well, I'll worry about that later. But yeah, that's it. So well, almost it. Get this guy out of the way for one more second, and we're gonna check out the stand. This is one of the few times I'm going to show you stand, guys, because you know how I feel about those. But these Stands are fairly easy. This one we're just going to peg here, like so. We're going to get that little clamp that goes there. Now you notice it's got this like arm extension thing. I'm not going to do any crazy poses. This is for you guys that love to do that. Display them in your office, and just peg that there. And open this up. And of course you got to height adjust it. He's going to fall. He's going to fall. And just get it where it needs to be. Clamps right on there, and boom, you got yourself Grendizer on a stand. Can I even fit it in here for you guys? I'm not using my typical table, but whew, I have a lot more depth in this little table here. But that's it, guys. I don't know. Had this guy for like almost a month. I just got around to doing it. It's insanely hot. I don't know if you can hear it in my voice. I'm like losing it, and it's getting very, very hard to breathe. But I hope I was able to show you guys this very simple figure. Not a lot of stuff going on. I almost felt like I'm missing stuff, like I should be doing more stuff with it. Oh, that's what I forgot. Maybe showing you guys where all the die cast is. So because it is hefty, it's got a lot of die cast. So the die cast on this is pretty easy to figure out. It's wherever you see all these little kind of plates that just get press fitted in, that's pretty much everything that's die cast. You got the forearms, which you can't really see those plates on because of these little red things. But the forearms, you got the center here, the waist, you got the top, the back part of this is die cast. The joints inside, the upper thighs, the lower legs, and the feet. So it's got a really, really good amount of metal going on right there. So we'll just put them back here. Yeah, and even after doing that, I still feel like, I don't know, it feels like a really quick video. It might just be the heat. I don't know. I just had a lot of Chinese food. I feel weird right now. But this is Grendizer GX-76. You can pick them up using the link in the description below to BBTS. I like the figure. This is pretty much what I'm going to be concentrating on. Even though for my next video, one of my next videos, I'm going to veer off. It's still robot, mecha related. Just I've been trying to just focus on heavy Chogokin. None of that other stuff I was doing in the past, guys, because you know reviews are few and far between. But I splurged on something. That'll be coming soon. But anyway, glad to have this guy in my collection. He will definitely be replacing this since I'm going to start getting rid of a lot of stuff. So I don't know. This might be for sale at some point. But anyway, guys, that's it. You should know I did not get the Spazer, so I won't be doing a review for that. So please don't hold your breath for that. But if anything changes, you will see it. And that's it, guys. Until next time. Bye-bye.